Look at your goofy ass. Look at your goofy ass. I'm looking dead at you. Look at your goofy ass. Don't be afraid of loser. Do not be afraid to loser. I've been getting a lot of emails this past week about guys who are stuck in miserable relationships. This video, this podcast episode is dedicated to the guys who are stuck in miserable relationships. I've been there. I keep telling y'all to hold the line, learn from my mistakes. Do not be afraid of loser. I get it. You don't want to be alone. You're scared. This person is your best friend. You want to hold on to something. Let me know in the comments right now if you were that type of dude who was dealing with a woman. You were in a relationship and you were sexually incompatible with this woman. You guys weren't sexually compatible in the bedroom. You settled because you thought she was a good girl and you just dealt with it. You were in a relationship with a woman. Y'all had boring sex, but you thought because she's a good girl, you should just stay, or you know how bad the dating market is. You don't want to feel like doing this shit all over again, so you stay. You probably been in relationships or marriages where you're spending all your money, you are drowning in debt. She doesn't know because you're putting up a front. You're racking up credit card debt just to keep up with the Joneses. You're paying for trips. You're always taking her out to dinner. You're always paying for everything because you want to make it seem like you're an alpha male who pays for everything. You want to make it seem like you are that guy who has it all together because you're putting up a front. You probably got with this girl. You didn't have your money right. You were probably broke, which I keep on advising you guys to learn from my mistakes. Do not broke date. Because when you broke date, you're in a relationship and you're broke, your finances are not together. You're going to be stressed throughout the relationship. You're going to feel like you're on a time clock to make it by a certain time, or she's going to dip. You're going to feel like you're losing her because your money is not right. Why put yourself in that position? Why? A lot of us have been in this situation where we were afraid to lose this woman. Our self-esteem was low. We had no confidence. We thought because we're getting some piece of pussy that this is good enough, we should just stay in it. But a lot of guys are getting dead. They're not getting, well, some of them are in dead bedrooms, but they're getting mediocre sex, pity sex. You're going above and beyond for this woman and still you're not getting that back. Every time you take her out to eat, you're spending all your money. Even though you're living paycheck to paycheck, how are you able to get ahead in life? You guys keep on saying that I want to find a woman to build with. How can you build when you're paying for everything? Most of these women don't want to build with you. They want to live off of you. They want to be lazy. A lot of guys feel like they have to invest in their women. Pay for nails, makeup, trips, pay for her school. But is it worth all that when you guys go through a breakup, when you paid for every single thing? I get it. There's times when you feel stuck. I'm reading these emails, I'm responding, and a lot of you guys feel stuck in these relationships. Why would you put yourself in this position to be stuck in a relationship? You are not happy. You're miserable. You're in a relationship and you guys live like an old couple. You guys aren't having sex. You guys are just boyfriend and girlfriend. You're not married, but you guys are living like an old couple. There's sometimes when you sleep on the couch, you don't even sleep in the bedroom. You guys are arguing over dumb shit. You need to leave. This relationship is bringing the worst out of you. She's bringing the worst out of you. You ignored all the red flags and you still decided to stay. Why? Because you have low self-esteem. You're weak-minded. You're afraid to be alone. You need to embrace being alone. You're going to be happy. Why are you settling for a half-assed woman when you could just be on your own and investing in yourself? You don't really have time to invest when you're in a relationship. The relationship is draining you. Your girl's always comparing your relationship to all the other relationships she sees on the internet. Why aren't we taking more trips? You just took on one trip. You broke bank taking her because you didn't really have the money. She doesn't know that. You gotta. So many guys are in this position. They'll get us. They'll be getting new credit cards just to help fund her lifestyle. That ain't no team. That ain't no partnership. It's a one-sided relationship. She's living off of you. And that's why so many guys, you guys lose so much. I think that's why it's tough for a lot of guys to get over a breakup when they invested so much into that woman. They were dead broke. They paid for everything. They invested in her. And then when she's done, she breaks up with you. You're out on your ass and it hurts because you went above and beyond for this woman. You thought you were doing the right thing and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. A lot of guys put themselves in this position and a lot of guys are just weak-minded. We've all been through that. We thought this woman was the one. We thought we were going to marry this person. It didn't work out. Now we're starting our life over again. But you have to realize that this woman wasn't meant for you. This woman was just meant to be in your life for a season, not a lifetime. There's a lot of desperate men who are afraid to be alone, so they just settle for bullshit. That's no way to live. You're going to be miserable. A lot of guys are in these relationships where they can't even afford to break up. So they're stuck because they can't afford the rent on their own. Don't ever put yourself in this position where you got to survive on another woman. You got to rely on another woman to survive. It's going to end badly, man. You're going to be out on your ass. That's not a good look. That's not masculine as a man for you to rely on your woman. And I get it. A lot of guys are saying, well, my woman hold me down. She holds me down. She's been with me through the hard times. But if you've been broke for 7, 8 years, you've been broke throughout the entire relationship, she's going to fall out of love with you. And one, you had no business jumping into a relationship. You guys, please stop jumping into a relationship for survival mode because you need help with bills. You have $30 in your bank account and you are trying to date. Your priorities are all fucked up. Why are you that is insane to me. You got brothers whose accounts are always in the negative, but you're still trying to date. Your car declines all the time, but you're still trying to date. You want to find love, but you're not your best self right now. Stop being selfish. You're down bad. You want her to accept you at your worst. That's some loser shit. I hate to break it to you, man. I've been hurting a lot of feelings in these videos. I'm just raw and real, man. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. If you're over the age of 30 years old, you live with your parents, you don't need to date. I've said this a million times. Because there are a lot of men out here who have their own shit together. They got their own car. They got their own nice apartment. I'm telling you, bro, you deal with a woman, you try to do that broke dating shit. All it takes is for her to meet that one dude who's got his shit together. You're done. She's going to kick you to the curb. And this happens all the time. You guys probably had experiences like this. A woman left you for another dude who had his shit together. When you're always begging a woman for money to help you pay bills and you're relying on her to take you guys out, she's going to get tired of that. It's better to be alone and build on your own. You're going to get so much done. You're going to get so much done. I'm busy. I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff that I'm doing if I was in a relationship. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that after my breakup, if my goofy ass jumped into another relationship, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been living on my own. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have started this podcast because when you're in a relationship, women don't want to be with a red pill man, but this is my truth. There's some things I agree with the red pill and there's some things I disagree with, but I have a mind of my own. I'm not a follower, but you can't come over here saying that everything the red pill is saying are lies and false. That's not true. You're seeing it through female nature, hypergamy, how women act, TikTok, women just telling on themselves. You can't say that the red pill is lies. Most of the red pill shit is true. Someone said, are you worried about my content that you may not ever get a girlfriend because of my content and I'm red pill? No. I'm comfortable being alone. This is who I am. This is my truth. And if a woman I'm not harming nobody. I'm not a criminal. I'm not doing crimes. I'm just an average dude with a podcast. And if this is a turnoff for women, so be it. I do not care. You got to get to that point where you don't live your life for others. You got to live your life for you. Because you already learned, where has that gotten you when you started living for other people, caring about what other people think of you? It got you, what? Nowhere. Ghosted, dumped, betrayed. And I'm telling you, I just want, like, this is a tough pill to swallow. And when you don't have your stuff together as a man, you're always going to be in a powerless position. All it takes for her is if she has a job, she's around other men. All it takes for a woman to be around other men who got their shit together, and she's coming back home to you, who you're in the same situation you were throughout the entire relationship. She's gonna fall out of love with you. But a lot of guys, you guys are stuck in relationships with women who let themselves go. You're not even attracted to these women. You're in relationships. You're trying to be the good man because you had no discipline. You weren't sexually disciplined. You weren't protective of your seed. So you accidentally got these women pregnant, and now you're stuck with them because you're trying to be a good parent. But after y'all had the baby, you guys argue over bills. You're stressed. You got baby mama drama. You're trying to be the good dad, the good man to raise your kid in a 2-parent household, but you and your woman keep arguing, butting heads. And you realize that after you got her pregnant, that you guys are not compatible. You realize that she is not the one for you. But you made that mistake. We all make mistakes, but you made that mistake of getting her pregnant. Now you are stuck with her for over 18 years. And this is something you have to deal with. I get it. You're trying to be a good parent because you want to set a good example for your kids, but you're depressed deep inside because you know you messed up. This woman doesn't make you happy. You're not even attracted to this woman. It's funny, like, it's sad that a lot of guys settle. And it shouldn't be like that. But that comes with fear. You guys are afraid to be alone, man. You guys are settling in relationships with women who don't even respect you. You're in a relationship now with a woman who still talks to her ex, and she's not going to cut that off because they're best friends. And you're okay with that. You guys are settling in relationships with women who have a high body count, and she wants you to overlook her past. You guys are settling in relationships with a woman who doesn't even cook for you. With a woman who's never gotten you a gift, never bought you anything in life. She always tells you you're broke. Guys, please help me understand, why do you guys get with broke women? I get it. She's giving you, please let me know in the comments. Why do you waste your time with a woman who's broke? Why have you wasted your time in the past with women who are broke? That's not a turnoff for you. With a woman who doesn't have her shit together. She's always late on bills. She's always asking you for money. She's an adult like you. She has a job, but she's always asking you for money. That is not a turnoff for you. She does not. My thing is this. You have to ask yourself. You get with a broke ass woman who's always relying on you. She comes from a family of fucking losers and degenerates. Her mom ain't never been married. Her grandma ain't never been married. Just all single moms. Just her family is just dysfunctional losers. And she's broke as hell, asking you for money all the time. Why would you get her pregnant and have her be the mother of your child? What the hell can she teach your kids when she's been low value all her life? Why do you guys never think about that? You guys are so reckless with your seed. You get these women who are pregnant, who have all these problems, all these issues. and she can't even teach your children anything. You really thought that, dang, this woman ain't got her shit together. She's broke as fuck. I want my kids to take on her traits because she's a loser. And now y'all got, I don't get it, man. I don't want to be too harsh and say you got loser kids, but you had a baby by a chick who's a loser. She can probably teach your kid how to be disrespectful, rude, argumentative. You don't need no man. And then when your kids see her disrespecting you, this is what they see on how to treat men. If you have a daughter too, or sons, like you just, why would you get these women pregnant who are broke? I get it. You're getting sex, you're getting coochie, she's giving you coochie payments, but how long does that last? Coochie payments. How long is that going to last you? Coochie payments. You guys, we got to stop settling. We got to. Do not be afraid to let her go. If this woman's bringing the worst out of you, you got to let her go. You're not gaining any value from staying in a horrible relationship. You're not. What have you gained? You lost money, time, energy you can't get back. You're stressed because you're stressed with paying the bills. You need help all the time. You're living paycheck to paycheck trying to make sure she's happy, but you're not getting anything in return. You can't even travel. You don't have no money to travel. It's funny because I think guys are losers and lames who, you guys talk so much shit about passport bros, guys who have the money to travel. I think a lot of these guys are hating because they don't got their shit together. They're stuck with an ugly woman. They wish they can go to Brazil. They wish they can go to Colombia. They wish they can go to Thailand. These niggas don't even got a passport. Stuck with an ugly bitch. They got this ugly woman pregnant and they are stuck. Hating on these guys on YouTube, hating on these guys on Instagram who are traveling, minding their business. You have a lot of loser men out here who are hating on guys who are really doing good for themselves. Don't ever be that jealous type of dude. That's some loser shit. Always be happy for your fellow brothers. This is a brotherhood here. This podcast is for men of all races. This is a brotherhood, man. You got a lot of guys who are upset that these men didn't make the same mistakes they made. Getting an ugly woman pregnant, and they are stuck with this woman forever. He's a loser. He ain't got nowhere. He ain't got his own place. He's living at her place. She probably lives in the project, Section 8. And he's living on, like, a lot of guys are losers out here, man. I hate to say it. There's some guys who just don't want to work on themselves, and they hate on these brothers who are traveling because they wish they can travel. You got guys who've never been on a vacation. They haven't even got a passport. Calling guys losers. Oh, you have to go to another country to get women. You're a lame. You can't get, dude. He's an adult. He's a grown man. He can do whatever the F he wants to do. This is his life. Just because he's not stuck in the matrix repeating the same mistakes you, your daddy, your grandpa repeated, that doesn't make him a loser. He's his own man. He can do what the hell he wants to do. But a lot of guys are losers today. They failed in life and they're blaming other men for their shortcomings in life. You can't blame nobody. This podcast, I'm never going to change. I'm sticking to these topics. This is my niche. This is what I'm more passionate about. This stuff. Dating, relationships, man, just stuff for us. How we need to hold the line. I'm never going to be political on this podcast. This is not a pro-black channel. I'm pro-me. You need to be pro-you too. I'm not Malcolm X. I'm not Martin Luther King. I will never be talking about no politics on this podcast. I'm not even political. I focus on myself. It's 2026. I ain't gonna be marching. I ain't boycotting shit. I'm worried about myself. You got to have tunnel vision when you get older. If you're 30-something years old, single, it's just you need to have tunnel vision. What the fuck you boycotting for? Focus on on retirement, investing, because a lot of people are going to be left behind in a couple of years. There's no middle class no more. There's upper class and lower class. I'm not over here begging the government for reparations. I'm not no, I'm focused on me. And I don't fault these brothers who are pro-black. If that's you, brother. But that's not me. I'm pro-me. I used to be pro-black back in the time when I first moved to New York, when I lived in Harlem and I lived in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. That shit got me nowhere. Doing all you can for other people and they just fuck you over. Dealing with people who only care about themselves. That, I'm good. I learned the hard way. Most men don't have any allies. It doesn't matter what race you are. Y'all need to focus on yourself. I get it. Tensions are high with a lot of race relations right now. I get it. Tensions are high, but it's time for you to just you need to duck, have tunnel vision, focus on your goal. No distractions. When you're busy, you got a lot of shit to do on you really got time to be boycotting people? You really got time to be marching and stuff? I get it. That we still marching in 2026? We still boycotted in 2026? We need to focus on ourselves as men. Ain't nobody coming to save us. You probably been in a relationship, y'all in the past. Let me know for my brothers out there in the comments. Let me know if you've been in this situation. I dated this Jamaican chick when I used to live in Brooklyn. And it's funny because she was super pro-black, right? But she fucked white dudes in the past before I got with her. And, she gave me the whole spiel. I won't do that again. Just the white man, blah, blah, blah. But there ain't no telling what they'll happen because, women give half truths. I'm pretty sure she let that dude do a lot of degrading things during the bedroom. And she was just mad that he didn't wife her up. But I was naive and dumb. I was 22, 23 at the time. Pre-red pill, not confident. I dealt with anything because I was so lonely. My self-esteem was low, so I tolerated anything. I wish I was stronger back then, but I was weak. She claimed that she used to preach all this pro-black stuff, right? I'm very laid back, not a violent person, but I was weak. Well, she's Jamaican. I don't know if this is a Jamaican thing, but every time we would argue, bro, she would get physical with me and she put her hands on me. I was leaving out the apartment. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. And she punched me right in the back of my head as I was walking out the apartment. And I just left because I'm not about to go there. So I just left. And I was so heated when I was on the subway back because I lived in Harlem. She lived in Bed-Stuy. So on that long train ride to Harlem, I was just heated, bro. Like, why am I dealing with this shit? But I was weak as a man. And then she apologized. She called and apologized. And she was like, I just talked to my mom and she was yelling at me, telling me, don't ever put my hands on a man. And I'm so sorry that I did that to you because I grew up seeing my mom fight my dad. And every time we argued over the littlest things, if I would be at her crib, just a little argument. I'm going to call the cops on you. If you're pro-black, you're preaching this pro-black, why would you always threaten to call the cops when I haven't even done anything wrong? I wasn't violent. Like, a lot of these people who are pro-black are full of shit. That experience when I was in Harlem and dealing with women in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn and Harlem and shit. All these women who are pro-black, they're full of shit. And I'm all for all races. Date who you want to date. But how can you be pro-black and talk so much shit about the white man? All the women I dealt with who were so-called pro-black, their past lovers were white dudes. And I guess, like, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He said something on his stream. He was like, black women are not black. They're not all women. A lot of them would love to sleep with white men, which is cool. But you can't be, how are you pro-black and your past lovers are white dudes and you talk so much crap about white dudes. And there's a lot of white dudes who can get black women just like that. They don't even got to be that good looking, attractive. Here in New York City, I see it all the time. Like a lot of white dudes have pull. They know they can get a black chick like that. They know they can get an Asian chick like that. It is what it is. But when you meet these women who claim they're pro-black, it's full of shit because these women will fuck you over. You do something they don't like, they will fuck you over. They're in the car, the cops on you on dumb crap. And I was just done with it, bro. I was just done with that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just dealing with that. I'm not trying to throw black women under the bus. I'm not trying to bash black women. But when I was with my ex, my ex is Asian. 6 years we were together. That's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And I can honestly say, bro, we never argued that much. She never put her hands on me, never disrespected me. Like she did, like she was the nicest. Like looking back at it, I have to be honest. Looking back at it, she was the nicest woman who treated me. Like she was the woman who treated me the best, I can say. Because I attracted a lot of women who were disrespectful. And I don't know what that is. There was a time where I just thought that maybe I just don't click well with some black women because these women would be disrespectful as fuck. And I got to the point before I got with my ex, I got to the point where I would just leave dates. I had a black chick from Philly who lived in Harlem too. We met on the app and she told me to shut up and just pay for her drinks. I got up, I paid for my drinks and I left. And there was a time I'm not going to tolerate that bullshit. Because why are you being so disrespectful to me when I'm treating you with the utmost respect? For a first date for these women to be so disrespectful. And you can't blame these brothers. The thing that what some people do is like some black folk. Well, I don't want to put all black people in a bubble, but a lot of people don't like to take accountability. Do you wonder why there's a reason why a lot of black dudes are just dating out their race? They're dating outside the race they're going to where they're celebrated because they're not dealing with any bullshit. A lot of black dudes have suffered and dealt with a lot of bullshit when it comes to some relationships, man. A lot of men in general, they're just checked out. You got to take care of yourself. I get it. You want the best for the black community. I get it. But there's going to have to come to a point where you got to focus on yourself. You're not Malcolm X. You're not Dr. Martin Luther King. You're not Medgar Evers. You're not Muhammad Ali. You're you. You can't save the black community. You can't be the whole spokesperson. You got to just focus on you right now. During these times, it's best for you to have tunnel vision and just focus on yourself. And if you are pro-black, I ain't got nothing against you. You're still welcome to watch the podcast. But that's not the type of time I'm on. On this podcast, I will not be discussing politics. I'm not on no pro-black shit. This podcast is for all men of all races. I'm not going to go there. And if I lose some subscribers, I respect your decision. It's just that's not where I'm at right now. I haven't been on that pro shit in a long time. And just, it's sad, man. A lot of guys just settle, man. I settled a lot in the past. And I'm glad that I'm at the point right now where I'm embracing being alone. And I'm glad I'm at the point where I'm not going to tolerate shit. Because that could be us, bro. We could be those type of men who are stuck in miserable marriages, dealing with so much bullshit from these women, but we're stuck because we have a fear of being alone. There's a lot of guys who are stuck in miserable marriages with women who are talking to them crazy. A lot of guys who are stressed due to them having to pay all the bills. Their wife don't want to work, even though she has a degree in student loans. But this man feels obligated to pay off her student loans, pay for everything, and he's drowning in debt, and she don't even know. He's so stressed that he can't even get hard to be intimate with her. So he has to rely on Viagra, Blue Chew, honey packs, which is not good for you. You're stressed. All marriages today is stress. It's not happiness. It's not foundation. It's stress for men. These women can lie to you. A woman brings so much value to a man's. No, they don't. Just an added bill. But why do you keep settling, man? Look at your goofy ass. Why do y'all keep settling, man? A lot of you guys are in relationships that you know are bad, but you're stuck because your finances aren't in order. You're not financially stable. You probably spend a lot of money and time on this woman. You don't want all that time, money to go to waste. But you got to do what's best for you. If this relationship is bringing you down, you don't need it. Do not be afraid to lose her. She's disrespectful to you. She doesn't do anything for you. Cook, help you out. She's not a helpmate. She's not your piece. She's always arguing. This woman's bringing the worst side out of you. She's bringing the worst out of you. You don't need her. You're better off by yourself. You're better off alone. Why put yourself through that misery? Life is too short. That's not fair to you. Other men have suffered. That doesn't mean you have to repeat the same mistakes. But a lot of men, they don't want to be alone. And y'all just settle. Do not be afraid to let her go. Kick her out of your life. Block her. Heal. Don't go back. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.